a UHP, which means ultra high performance. Too much lube or grease or whatever on the tire, it will actually debead. So we have to mount our tires up dry. Woo! Today, we are going to mount up all these wheels to all these tires. We got some fresh SSR GTX03. I love these rims. They're the ones that we've been running for the past year. And we got some fresh boys because we're going to put the new ones on the pro car. I'm going to take the ones from last year and we're going to start running them on the demo car because the 19s and the 20s are cool, but they are a little heavy and the tires are kind of hard to find. So I want to make sure that we have some 18s so that we have better access to the tires. Nexen is obviously super awesome and giving us all these Surf 4Gs, which are the same tires that we run. These are our competition tires. It is a UHP, which means ultra high performance street tire. We have to run street tires in drifting, DOT approved, and they are pre-approved by Formula Drift, as in they take the tires, they'll test them out, make sure that they are in the appropriate like durometer reading. A durometer is a tool that basically measures density. So it's like a little needle poker, and you just push it into the side and the resistance from the tire will push back on the needle and tell you how stiff the tire is. The higher the number, the stiffer the tire is. And the lower the number, the softer it is. So on this machine, the other thing that's really annoying is that we have to mount our tires up dry. Because if we run too much lube or grease or whatever on the tire, it will actually debead. And when you see the guys debeading at the track, it's basically because they are running too low of pressure. And so what happens is, once you're running too low of pressure, the tire just wants to pop off of this bead. This is what holds the tire on, this little lip here. And so once you have too low of pressure and the thing's squatting and it's, you're drifting, so the thing is just really leaning and pushing in on that tire, it's just gonna pull it off the bead. So we mount these tires up dry, like I said, which means no lube, no spray, no nothing, so that they stay really sticky and stuck to the rim. So that's what we have to do. Thrifty. So whenever I'm mounting up a tire, I will start with normally, lube them up, but we're gonna skip that step. This duck head actually isn't made for this machine. I had to get a plastic one just because it doesn't cut up the rims. And so you start by setting that, basically, bring it over to the actual rim lip, push up again, make sure you're solid against it and solid down. And you use this to set the depth of the arm. So if you watch, see how it pushes that out? What I do is I back it all the way out, bring this against, and then bring this out to it. Just enough to give it a little bit of tension so that when you're putting the tire on, it's not trying to press up against this because there's a lot of force right here and it will just snap this right off. Let's see about mounting this guy up and looking like a fool in the process, struggling and sweating and swearing. Like I said, you grab your tire and swing it up on here. Then you bring your head in. And then as you come around, you want to get this part of the tire on top of this part of the duck head. So up against like that, and then this part goes under this. So you get that little bit of an angle going. We're leaning on the top side of this bead, keeps it off the rim, helps feed it down, comes across, goes under this duck head, and that forces it down. See how we have the whole tires at an angle, because that second part of the duck head is trying to push it down into this groove, and this groove is here specifically for getting the tire on and off the rim. You always want to start with your valve stem just beyond the duck head, because if it's in the wrong place, the tire cannot come through and it cannot get down into this bead. You're either going to struggle mounting this, or you're going to break that right off. And these are little aluminum, like race style lug nuts, and so they will just break right in half. Just feed her on. Do the work. That part's the easy part. So I'll come through and I'll just, pop it off, make sure it's not stuck on the lower, just to let it kind of free spin. And I'll bring this valve stem right back over there again. Now this is gonna be the hard part. I'll try and get you a good view. I used to have this arm hooked up. It was really nice and handy. One of the lines broke, so doing this the old school way, manual. The spoon will help hold the tire under the duck head so that it keeps feeding into this bottom tray. You have to have this part under this rimlet, not up against where it beads, underneath it, so that it gives this side of the tire the extra space that it needs to be pulled up and over the rimlet and run down and around the duck head. So now, this is the part where it either works or it doesn't. So get all prepped up, And like you can see this part flexing down underneath. Make sure it's down, and just go for it. There it is. So see how this part's all beaded up against the actual rim itself? And this part is tucked under where I was trying to keep it to allow this to pop over. So this is what I was talking about. If this valve stem was over here, that would have just cut it right off. So very important to keep an eye on where the valve stem is. From here, we just juice her up. Takes a lot of pressure because there's no lube. So it will take about 60 PSI at least to get this thing to pop. The lower pops first, almost always. While the upper's coming. Woo! There she is. Pull that off, let the air drain out. So there's like 60 PSI in there. And then we're only gonna run less than that. We don't get too crazy with it. We don't do single digit stuff like some of the guys. Let's screw this little guy back in. Put this guy back on. And we'll air him up. Let a little too much out. Normally I catch it right around 20 or so and I just bleed it down from there. And that's it. Add it to the pile. Only that many more to go.
Two inches.
2 inches. 2 by 2. You got your marking pencil? Sure you do.
Wow, Dylan's always got a Sharpie.
Yeah,
4.
so you just send it with that dude first, or you have to pilot it? You don't pilot
Brute
it?
force and stupidity.
Perfect.
Brute force and stupidity. I like that. Dang, magnet drill. I'm into that.
Oh yeah.
We've been talking about doing this for a while. Trying to get that trailer parked proper. See, I'm telling you, man, we need aprons. We were saying that the other day.
Oh man, I'm screwed. Hell, I carry.
You got it all in there.
I got a
Drill bit. Got a little crescent. Oh yeah.
Two
punch.
punches.
No, yeah, that's a punch, and this is a center punch, a crescent wrench. And then this side, of course,
gotta
I
be a
don't do
flashlight.
anything without my flashlight. And can't believe how often you use them damn things. And theirs are nice because they don't have a point on them to cut a hole in my pocket.
Yeah.
That was impressive. All right. Dyno, our big deal. Gotta get this thing all fired up. And he wants to know what his car makes on this dyno because it's a little bummed out about my 1270 pass. So we're gonna find out. Here, dog.
Yeah, man. We're about to put my rig on the same dyno that your rig went on.
Yeah.
Because
What do you think it's gonna make?
I bet it's gonna make 1270. What'd you think?
1269, I think.
That's what I'm going for.
Just making sure the nitrous is working proper, making sure the it's jetted proper. And yeah, a little drivability, a little tip in, a little accelerator pump action.
So what I'm going to start off with 20 hertz and 50% duty cycle, so roughly 75 shot.
Okay. I think for getting started, I think that it's going to be fine. We don't need to run it all the way out the top. I feel like that's one of those deals where if we're jamming Irwindale and it's like feeling like it's not enough, then we'll run it all the way out. But besides that, I think that the 850-ish number is going to be plenty of power. I think.
Wait till I get my stuff all set up before we warm it up. Warm it up, and then we'll just get up percent.
Alrighty.
All right, straps
Copy
are
that.
loose, full boost, full nitrous, let her rip.
Okay. Copy that. See ya. Nitrous, brother!
Squeezing the juice, man.
Boost cut? Must have been a boost cut. Fuck, that thing hit hard.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeehaw. Wow. All right, wrapping up. Another successful day at the dyno. Dylan's car did 1100 on this dyno. G35, 1050. Totally killing it, running really good. Did some nitrous testing, got it all tuned up, and feeling really good. It is kicking in at about 3,000 RPM and it turns off at 20 PSI. So it just is there to help spool that turbo that already spools way too fast.
Way too fast.
So it was on for, what do you say, in less than a second?
Yeah, the first hit, I think it hit boost cut after a half a second. And then once we kind of dialed on the wastegate a little bit, it was like 700 milliseconds. Like it was like wasn't even a second before it was just buried in the boost.
Insane. So yeah, it's just there to help, you know, especially in tandem. You're just gonna get that whap, 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 you know, like no delay at all. So
Grabbing that thing with your big toe.
that's it. Got a big fat toe. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to add a second set of calipers onto a car.
So we're gonna be deleting the e-brake, and if the car ever rolls on a hill,
Yeah, you know who to
it
blame.
ain't my fault.
Not me.